Hello everyone, my name is Howard Lipman, and under the pen name of Pan Orpheus, I write science fiction, novels, and short story collections. The character of inventor Nikola Tesla appears in my stories, my writings, either as the real-life Nikola Tesla or the afterlife spirit of Nikola Tesla. I'm a board member of the Tesla Science Foundation, and I do seminars on Nikola Tesla and others of his time period. Jules Verne, H.G. Wells, for instance. This video is a short presentation of what you can expect from my seminars. I usually start the Nikola Tesla seminar by saying that Tesla was born in 1856, and today he is considered to be a famous Serbian-American scientist. But I'm going to go even further than that and say that Nikola Tesla contributed more to our modern world and our modern technology than anyone else. And I'm going to tell you why. In 1884, Tesla came to America. In the year prior to that, he worked for Continental Edison in Paris. When he came to America, he immediately went to work for the Edison Company. And in the year that he worked for the company, he certainly was in Edison's presence. But by 1887, he had his own laboratory on Liberty Street in New York, and he had working prototypes of the alternating current generators, motors, and the transmission lines as well. I'd like to tell you a story about one of his other inventions. He invented something called the mechanical oscillator. It was a box with a knob on it. He might have had maybe a tiny amplifier or a loudspeaker attached to it, and it would produce certain frequencies, some of which are in the range of our hearing. He would turn that knob, turn it up until it was beyond the range of our hearing. And suddenly, the building, the Houston Street Laboratory building, started to shake. He turned it up a little bit more. The buildings on either side started to shake. What was this? An earthquake in New York City? The residents of the buildings on either side were Chinese and Italian immigrants, streamed out of the building. They believed an earthquake was occurring, but the police knew better. The police went straight to Tesla's lab, ran up the stairs, the door was open, they walked in, and they saw Tesla with a sledgehammer just bashing that oscillator to bits. And that leads me to a musical instrument that I'm going to demonstrate for you. This is the Moog Theremin. It's a 2014 model of an instrument that was invented in the 1920s by Leon Theremin, and the original instrument had two oscillators, inventions of Nikola Tesla, that worked together to produce an instrument that was wireless. And the instrument produced basically this one kind of a sound. So that was the original sound of the Theremin. With this one, I can get 32 preset sounds, like a wah-wah, and also here's a wonderful bass sound. Like a very nice drone. And maybe just one more. This is called Strange Stuff. So that is the Moog Theremin.
I'm here today with author Pan Orpheus, the pen name for Howard Lipman. May I call you Pan?
Yes, a lot of people do.
Okay. You've written 6 books, all fantasy fiction. They dabble in the categories of science fiction, steampunk, fantasy, and alternate history. How do you feel about the books, the characters, and where this is all going? And do you really consider it a series?
When I wrote my first 2 books, Theoclia, the Delphic Oracle, and Pythagoras, in Eleusis and Atlantis, and the second book, the sequel, Theoclia, the Delphic Oracle, and Pythagoras in Egypt, I knew that I'd be working with 2 characters. I'd be working with an oracle from 500 BC named Theoclia, and that she would be the real thing. She would be the quintessential oracle. I knew another character, of course, would be Pythagoras. He would be the quintessential mathematician, scientist. He would know things. And I wanted to show that the seeing and the knowing together produced something much more powerful than either one of them could produce alone. I also knew that I would be dealing with mysteries. The mystery of Atlantis, who, what, when, why of Atlantis. And in the second book, the pyramids and the Sphinx.
Okay. What happened in the 3rd and 4th books that changed your writing?
In the 3rd book, I wanted to take the characters from ancient Greece and bring them into modern times. So I created another oracle, Phoebe. Phoebe has the power to travel through time and space, and she has street smarts. She's savvy. Her power is to use the wrong word at the wrong time. And the book is called Phoebe, the Delphic Oracle, Takes Nikola Tesla to Peru, and Other Stories. The stories are about intervention, intervening in the lives, fictional and non-fictional, of people and events. Then in the 4th book, I wrote a complete Phoebe novel called Phoebe, the Delphic Oracle, and the Medallion of Gaia. And in that book, she travels to 1952. She's searching for a lost relic, a powerful medallion of Gaia. She hires a detective, and it's kind of a noir mystery at the beginning. But then in the second part of the book, it goes into the future. She's still looking for the medallion of Gaia. And so science fiction comes in, and then at the end of the book, it all ends in 1952 in a hearing room in Washington, D.C.
So what about your 5th and 6th books, especially your newest book, The Antikythera and the Source?
The 5th book is called Songs and Stories from Tesla's Tower. And the spirit of Nikola Tesla is in every one of the stories. There's a novella and 4 short stories. Either the afterlife spirit of Nikola Tesla or the spirit of invention, the spirit of mechanical engineering. Also, steampunk is a big element in that 5th book. And the novella is called The Tower in the Wind. It takes place in 1969 in Cartown, USA, which is Detroit, steampunk Detroit. Music enters the picture in a big way. And so I would say that all of the elements came together in that 5th book. In my latest book, The Antikythera and the Source, the mystery is the mystery of the Antikythera, which is a real object that was found over 100 years ago. It's been studied for 100 years. And now it's considered to be a geared mechanism that the Greeks had in 100, 200 BC. And now it's thought to be an analog computer. You can imagine what that has done for science and archaeology.
So what do you see happening in the next books in the series?
Well, I think that I've built half of a rainbow in the 6 books. I know what all the elements are going to be. I know the characters. So when I looked ahead, I saw 6 more books and I saw the ending. I said, wow, I've got the ending. And the next book in the series is finished already. It's going to be coming out in the fall of 2015.
Okay. Thank you, Pan Orpheus. I'm curious, what is the title of the next book?
The next book is called The Altamira Caves and the Mage. And the mystery will be those Paleolithic caves that are in southern France and northern Spain with those beautiful, beautiful drawings on the cave walls. And it will feature the mage, who was Pythagoras, so it'll be called The Altamira Caves and the Mage.
Okay. Thank you again for coming out. I really enjoyed hearing about your first 6 books, and I'm excited for the next one to come out. Thank you.
Thank you.